Good morning. As we look at the book of Joshua, now we yesterday spoke about the promise that God gave to Joshua when Joshua was going to go into the land, and I'm sure that must have assured him a lot. But then in chapter 3 we read another test that Joshua would have had to pass, and I've called this the test of consecration. Consecration is something of an offering that you offer to God. It's consecrated for God, for destruction or for his use, was an act of consecration. And Joshua came to the children of Israel and said, tomorrow we're going to go into the land. Therefore, consecrate yourselves so that we could go in and do what God has called us to. And in chapter 3, we read about this: consecrate yourself, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things amongst you. People, here's the deal. We all want God to do amazing things amongst us, don't we? We all want to experience the supernatural hand of God. I so want to see God do supernatural stuff. I don't just want to be a service club. We're a church, man. And a church is a supernatural entity. And we want to see supernatural stuff happening. Otherwise, we may just go and join some service club and do good, nice things to good people. That might be, what the temptation is. But I don't want to do that, because I want to see the supernatural hand of God doing some amazing things, as he says to Joshua, among them. This supernatural aspect is what it's all about. Now, the supernatural thing for them was simply that when their feet of the priest touched the water stopped in the Jordan River, and the water banked up, and it was in flood, and it was supernatural, and the people rejoiced as they went across the river. They saw the supernatural hand of God open the flooded Jordan River for them to walk across on dry ground. But it's critical in passing this test of consecration that we understand a couple of things. Here's the deal. Consecration always involves sacrifice and purification. In those days, there would have been a ceremonial purification that they would have had to undergo. There would have been a sacrificial giving toward God to ask God to lead them and to guide them and to help them in what they were about to do. And Paul talks about that in a New Testament context, and he says, offer yourselves as a living sacrifice. This is your offering to God, and it is your reasonable offering to God. So as much as we don't use bulls and goats and sheep anymore, we offer ourselves as that living sacrifice. If you want to see the supernatural hand of God at work in your life, if we want to see the supernatural hand of God at work in our church, there's a lot of consecrating that we have to do. There is purifying that we have to do. We've got to get rid of the junk. We've got to get rid of the baggage. We can't cross into the supernatural land of God and into the promised land, as it were, carrying garbage with us, carrying baggage with us. Let's purify ourselves, get rid of the sin amongst ourselves, get rid of the unforgiveness, get rid of the baggage, for goodness sake, people, and let's move into this land purified, consecrated, and then we will see the supernatural hand of God working amongst us. This commitment to the cause of Christ should be an overwhelming one. We should be praying prayers like, Lord, whatever it takes, tell me what I need to do, and I promise that I will do it. Even Jesus, before the cross in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was tempted to say, God, is there not another way to have the supernatural blessing of the sins of the world being taken away? And he knew he had to be an offering. He had to make a sacrifice. He was the purest Lamb of God. And even he, in the garden, was saying, Lord, do I have to do this? And God said, son, yep, you do. Yep, you do. You have to be consecrated. You are the pure Lamb of God. You are the only way to the supernatural blessing of God. People, nothing's changed. We want the blessing of God in a supernatural way. Consecrate yourself. Commit yourself completely to the cause of Christ. Purify yourself of all the junk in your life, and watch what God will do. There are some things we do because there's some things only God can do. Let's make sure we do that. Go to a fantastic day, people. Hope these thoughts stick in your mind, and ponder them and work them out, and let's see what God does amongst us. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day.